Hi guys, Mike here from KS Bushcraft Down Under. Sorry about the noise in the background and the wind. So, 18mm sheet of marine ply. This wasn't cheap. This was nearly $150 Australian. So my plans is to build a bed for the back of the Troopcarrier. Now I looked at the drawers and I could actually buy a set of drawers for about 500 Australian dollars, but they weigh 100 kilos. And I'd end up with a portable wardrobe in the back of the truck, which I don't want. I want something removable. So with this, the seat's erected, it's basically 1430 wide, depending on if you measure the jack bars or not. To the back seat, it's 1360. So my first line here is 1360. So I can get this piece in. So if I make a little bit of an extension here and there, I'm thinking fighter jet wings that fold up. I should better get it through the back door on my own. So with the rear seats folded up, I've got 1880, and if I remove them, I get about 21, but 2130 with the back seats removed, which I do on a very rare occasion, I think. So I'm thinking I'll make it to the 1880, see if I can lift it, and as a one-man lift. Now, the simple way would be to put a piano hinge in here. This would sit on top of this when it goes in the back, the seats up, and it would just fold forward and I'll make some legs for it. Or I could go real carpentry and slot this. That's one of the reasons I went from 15 to 18, it's strong, and make it sectional apart. That's going to be a lot of careful sawing and jigging about. And it's going to be 40 degrees. So I'll start with getting it down to the 1880 length and see how manageable it is as a one-man lift. Well, that's the plan anyway. Righto guys, so at the 1.8 metre length, this sheet for a one-man lift was just too difficult. Even with it down to 1360, it wasn't easy. It was difficult to hold. So I decided to put some handholds in. I thought, well, if I'm going to put handholds in, I might as well ventilate the bed base because it's an awfully hot climate. Now, yesterday, under the shade here, it was nearly 43 degrees Celsius. It was just miserable working outside. So I'll have to have it in two pieces. So I have the piano hinge, the top section. So at the moment, the back seat's up. I've offset the sheet, so I've got more of a gap on this side so I can get the jack out, and less on the away side. I've got three legs on there. I've ripped them at 150mm. So I've already got a 3mm plyboard and a flat floor and a rubber sheet. So you'd have to add some more to yours. So I've offset them so that my table will slide out here, which would be brilliant for roadside brew-ups. This gap here is big enough to hold my 4 max tracks, which is my primary recovery method. And it's also wide enough that my Oz tent can slide through. So with the back seat removed, my 2.1 metre Oz tent could slide in there, and that's one of the heaviest pieces of kit I've got. So that would be good to have that down low, so I'm not lifting it up. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and having it removable is such a bonus. Because yesterday was a typical example. An old deer who I look after occasionally had to return some equipment to the hospital, and I trundled the back seat up and picked it all up in one load. So life will get in the way of your overlanding, that's for sure. You'll be picking up and moving furniture for kids and fridges and washing machines, God knows. So pretty happy with the progress so far, and we'll continue on. Well guys, we're getting there with the removable bed base. This is the rear section. I've currently got the back seats up, so I've got an additional section to build between the trundled back seat and this rear plate. But it's turning out really well. So I've positioned the legs so they're a dead fit between the wheel arches. I've offset the overhang more to the driver's side, leaving me enough room here to access the jack. This is where my air compressor is. So I'll use this space probably for my tool rolls. Sit in there. So I ventilated the bed base for coolness. It also gives me a system that I can strap stuff down to wherever I like. So under this one here, I've currently got room for my kettle, my butane stove, my drifter table slides out really nice. This is going to be brilliant for roadside brew ups. The other section is big enough to take 4 max tracks. So I'm debating about building either a drawer or just a slide-in box for when I'm not using the max tracks, but generally any adventure I go on, they come with me. So on this side, if I notch out here, this 20 litre jerry can will slide in there perfectly, but I'd need to put a spacer in it so I can get something underneath the tap. So I'm still thinking on that. So we're going to get some marine carpet. I'm not going to glue it down yet until I finish playing around with this, so I'll just give it a bit of grey paint. But I'm really pleased, and it's a lot less than 100 kilos worth of drawers, and I would have still needed a section to fill in for the trundled back seat. Anyway, we'll press on. Right guys, welcome to the back of the Troopcarrier. So I've got the back seat trundled up. I've got a decent gap, and I was looking at it. I do intend to get a water tank at some stage in the future, and I don't want electric pumps and this and that. I just want to be able to fill it and drain it. So this is a 40 litre jerry can. Has a tap and a hose. I can stick that out of the passenger door and fill it through the window. That would be quite easy. So that's quite a good result. So I could fit 2 of those and a single 20, and that keeps the weight down low, which is so important if you're going to go off-road. Now if I trim 5mm off this sheet, that would actually fit down there as well. So I could go the cooler and 60 litres of water, or 2 of those and have 8 litres of water. So the cooler won't be in the most convenient place. So lots of different options there. I'm going to have a look online and see what type of single water tanks of a similar ilk of this can fill that space. So what I'm going to do for the time being is just make a wooden pillar plate so I can use the bed and work from there. There's a lot of usable space in this car, but I want maximum practicality. I don't want, like Mad Matt's vehicle, he's got almost no space on top of his drawers and fridge slides and all this, which is brilliant for going camping, but not brilliant for going down to the hardware store or the rest of life. So I want to maintain the maximal values of this vehicle. So we'll have a bit sore up. Well guys, ran into a bit of a snag. Found these big gate hinges in one of my boxes. I thought they could do the job rather than buying a piano hinge. So I'd already notched it for the seat mechanism. Problem is this guy here, which is the lock for the seat base. So I'm going to have to shorten it. Just a bit of a pain, so I'll miss it. But I think that's the way to go. It's either I make a freestanding box that just drops in, that way I can keep the full length, so I can manipulate it in then. Choices. Right guys, for the moment I've done. So I've run out of the glue for gluing down the carpet. I've just got the edges to do on the folding section. This section on the right hand side here, I've got these 100 kilo rollers, but they're heavy and you lose about an inch of usable space. I'm debating whether I should just use a melamine sheet on the bottom, and that'll be enough slide for a drawer. Anyway, I'll work on that. Really pleased the way it's turned out. The carpet has locked the table in place, so it doesn't slide out. Locks in brilliantly. Got room for my stove. It's light enough that I can easily lift it in and out myself, which was my main goal. All in all, I'm really pleased with it as a removable system. Anyway guys, if you like this type of content, it helps you create good stuff, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.